Ner malaken yam ka nas dialtin kontin barwani lingwaseme kan online TV channel anda manduni chang kosnyak malyanong roine gwaseme an wala shang ka dioka pay bangwan ron kina dangro wudi jandangro wudi diech lerin ban lingwaseme kala to go liang brought to palping ka liang dien bantin dial kon togre wike so Sudan ko kon tog ban ka lingwaseme ne te kala to ko ken ba to ban nywa ke la reida gorno jin bijetuk an larama ko bimandan lero de bi kulangach kenyam man gora bianga janu gorjen wode neten kon batila link tok english de kana lingba ka tukde kenyam bena lat ka tok kawaine den ka kora bejenu ye ka tok nat ban je cholinga gwa ka do badan en chineme chetwokaje an wanaten in Juba 2nd September 2025. Fighting has erupted once again in part of central Equatoria and Upper Nile, raising fear that South Sudan may be slipping further away from peace. The Sudan People Liberation Army, in opposition, SPLAIO said its forces clashed with government troops in multiple areas over the past 3 days, leaving several people dead and many others wounded. According to SPLAIO spokesperson Colonel Paul Gabriel, the heaviest fighting took place Wednesday morning near Wunalit, Juba County. He claimed that SPLAIO ambushed a convoy made up of the South Sudan People Defense Forces, SSPDF, National Police, and National Security Service, 7 government soldiers, including Colonel Juma Festo, a former IO officer who defected, were reportedly killed. Lam also reported that on 1st September, SPLAIO 5th Infantry Division launched an attack on government position in Matiang, Longashuk County, inflicting what he described as heavy human and material losses before withdrawing for tactical reasons. In addition, the SPLAIO said its 7th Infantry Division repelled an attack on 31st August by SSPDF troop and allied Agwelin militia in Tonga, Upper Nile State. Lam claimed government forces were pushed back with significant losses. The report, however, remained unverified, and SSPDF officials have not yet issued a response. The government spokesperson, Major General Lure Kong, earlier released a video showing a wounded SPLAIO fighter identified as Red Tutruk, who he said was injured in Longashuk, an attempt to counter-claim of government casualties. The situation in Upper Nile and Central Equatoria remains tense. Local sources in Matiang say that army youths have joined the clashes, further complicating the violence. Despite a 2018 peace agreement that was meant to end year of war, outbreak of violence like this continue to threaten South Sudan's fragile stability. The renewed fighting once again underscore the heavy price ordinary citizens pay. Many are displaced, cut off from aid, or forced to flee their home in search of safety. Joling yan magwasame, chalado ka shankaro kapay bangwan ruan kinadangro jan dangro ditich. Chikorcha tuɔɔk rei wujin chalke Central Equatoria ka penal. Chunating wan chukamoy dual medita long rei wika South Sudan. Chagujano en kore me ba mal beje yar. Tela mal meno. Chajo me chajala de kume SPLAIO la people Sudan People Liberation Army in opposition. Chikala no shiremu shirene me tuɔɔk kam de ni kume kirme yadit kene de ni SPLAIO de ni Dr. Machar ka kan konin tetene. Wan tema ka konin dangdiok gwas di alrei wich ke Equatoria kana panal chikorra to chika tuɔɔkten. According to SPLAIO spokesperson Gun Mishalka Colonel Lam Gabriel Shela de Wonene, a janichi korcha tuɔɔk ka shanga diok ka runwang dor Mishalke wuna let ka Juba County wuna let tiega kene Juba. Chikan lado no chikum SPLAIO de neken de ne SPLAIO chikan torbil majalke de ne SSPDF de neken mayadit chikan nyuraka are torbiela money wati national police tegatin ti national security service tegatin ti 7 government soldier ne dangbaro ti la de ni kir bana tegarede wona ka wudo dien mishala kol na Juma Festo mila former IO officer rami mamla chakona ran SPLIO jakula de faki chartia ko kum kirma yadit awa shanak and wudo money chicken night chetato ikan kana ka joran chicken lat keja wa chicken turbila mo chicken ambush ke chicken nyurika ka shukan nei tilaji kuma SSPDF shukan kana kan kwas money lamba shenyo lad no ne jene ka changa kel ka pai bangwan no shikuma SPLIO 5 Infantry Division wa chicken kuma chicken mark rewi ka matiang longa shukanti alo shukoro mo chawo ladan winami kalung shu kanti shwala do shikoro mo tuɔɔk ke kan chetegane to ngwanba ti cha yeken ba cha ba da gwatmone kan shikume SSPD abo kan cha ka jojba ka chikan ne to ngwan chikan ga mo ka board ke chikan kanak ka kan ka kore jilam Gabriel jelad no shu karuden chu wujre wich kama tiang town ngot ka banni kare wich kalung shu kanti kan chikan mishale tactical withdrawal chikan alat nyok ka kuma SPLIO ka 7 Infantry Division ga chanja nang de kel ka pai badak ron kin rawi jandang rawi de diech shi kuma SSPDF micho da mat ka gwelek militia doran shal ke tonja ka penal state kilam Gabriel jilad no shiken kuma shikan jo tenan winami ajane shi kuma ba kala tegane ya mu ka board kene to ngwande shanak re kuramo chala do ne chi tishit kiti wa shiga tuɔɔk however wa kan kuma SSPDF kan mishirkana ma kan verified wa kan comment SSPDF ka joran jikan lat kan no shikan kuma SPLIO shikan ka joj ramkel mila spokesperson Major General Lure Kong jala do ne ajana shikan ri kontela SPLIO ka tonjab shikan ka joj ka joran lat kaneja ka SPLIO chikala no kan ka jo chicken kuma SSPDF chicken joj wuri shalga Major General Lure Kong karoy me chalat kere ka dana tuɔɔk kalango shu kanti jala do ne shikaram kel ka jene Nuer ke ganware won mishal kere tuturuk chicken cap ano gwada dana na tukorche tuɔɔk waji korma je tuɔɔk chicken wudu ma kana cap ka chicken bar chicken mo ka board chikala do wudu ma chanang re ka jubaken ko ba jo interrogate ke ba jo tijen widnami dong de jo dwech ke be kana la jega long ko do badanen ran kuma ka je ran kuma dakre ma char ka je be jawlat cha nang re wi ke juba aram shit ka tamane shalare turuk ti jarol lure kong che video mo chelas ke Facebook da jero lure kong jen gan wereba ne de kona nyere wejen winami ka lungu shukan weri Major General Lure Kong aram kel mi monwer mit tekel ke kirma yadit kaneten content hakan weri ke kaneten content gorno de nuer de kanak ko ken chiga mat ke jang ne ga gwad mshiwa so di yana ngaje nono en situation ndana to ka panal kana Central Equatoria ngode we ka mebeje ano mishalinga no chikoje to biadi ngaje no kormo to ka kam kume SPLIO kene kume kirma yadi de la kume jane chajo mo chajalat ka jo chalat gwasmeken kene shingwani nuari shigarin mat ke kume SPLIO kalongo shuk kene den kontin nyen ke kume SSPDF gwada shi ajalinga no shi kume SPLIO shi kene claim no shi kan matian ki kene ka kora den shukor den wochen gwana mane wa kur mi shit kana me wa che 2018 peace agreement che yar tayi dane de ko de ja kapchonga je ngai kondiale en go 2018 peace agreement ala ron kin dangrol badak ano baje yar shi kume SPLIO kuma kirma yadi ko kire jaram dan logo bi malbe ben ke jaram dan tika lwang ci dem ngai konen wo chaja kam lwang kelio jen ko lenen tanke 2018 peace agreement jen kana dakran machar den ka kore yo gorno be dakran machar be yen ko she gorno te ka mal mi ben jen nen yen tamaliuna ka to ko te ten rai wi ka so Sudan ado mi she loko jejan ci wo lok rek machar loko mal ba jen point logmo jaram dan long mal ka jowling yana gwasmen wo mal bagwa be ben ko mi shikir che mal che janok man makana mal kana janok nyod jeno tel mi shala mal rai wi ka so Sudan kujamo de kontika ngach kamishit kenamene ka do badan en tuɔɔk ngwane tuɔɔken keje ko gor kono banti dial bana kalin ka dobdien gor jano bana to bana jalat kir jaram dan en logo bi malba ben rey wicca ka South Sudan chere mangay kono ko mi ram no go bi malba ben chechere ala ka chechere an wal but ko logo je and then we do dien magore je en go buwej be je ka je atekon ke report chala do South Sudan delegation to attend UN General Assembly amid criticism like ram kel mala vice president rey wika South Sudan chala do jen no bo gwas mi cha UN chicken kum South Sudan chicken cholten ka New York ban jom ban jelin kel ka do badan en cha to ka je no ka nyam ban jalat ka to kawaine ka kor ban jelin ka tungnat. While fighting wreak at home, South Sudan leadership is preparing to take part in global diplomacy. The government announced on Tuesday that Vice President Joseph Lagu will head the country delegation to the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York later this month. The UN formally opened on 9 September with a high-level debate set for 23rd to 29 September. Lagu, the Vice President of South Sudan, a member of the Sudan Opposition Alliance, which is SWA under the peace deal, was appointed by President in February after serving as Agriculture Minister. She is expected to deliver a statement outlining South Sudan political transition, economic recovery effort, and humanitarian priorities. However, the announcement has sparked criticism at home. Tämɛ Nyangad, which a South Sudan human rights advocate, urged the UN to block the official delegation, arguing that the government has failed to implement critical part of the peace agreement. Half of our people are living in exile or as internally displaced. Families are starving. Civil servants have gone unpaid for more than 3 years. Yet, leaders are traveling abroad to represent a country they have failed to fix. Manyang said in a statement. He also condemned the continued detention of political figures, including First Vice President Dr. Machar, calling it a violation of the peace deal and betrayal of national reconciliation. Allowing this delegation to attend the UN Assembly is not only a misrepresentation of the people of South Sudan, but also a waste of international resources. Manyang added, calling on UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to take a tougher stance. A world leader prepared to gather in New York to discuss peace, climate change, and development. South Sudan finds itself torn between international diplomacy and unresolved conflict at home. For ordinary South Sudanese citizens, the headline about military victories and foreign conference offer little comfort. What they continue to ask for is simple peace, food, and chance to rebuild their life. Jolin kon magwaseme roñ mishalat kume ala UN General Assembly cha kum South Sudan cha ka chol ko bikanu rewutin binami chol ke ko kan bikan South Sudan bikanu represent cha chegame makukon nen gwaseme jen cha ja chol bawe ala ram kelm bi South Sudan ba jaw represent wan dole me dol kame dol ka je New York ka jan korpa du benene wa UN General Assembly she can come South Sudan can la jor but take a me tuɔɔk and tämɛ wa dole me dolen jan badak dien ka United Nations General Assembly wa kan bi kan lep ka chang bangwan ka pai bangwan ron kin dangro jan dangro de chama en gwadran bana writing chala do New York ka baje to ka chang jan dangro wi de diok wona ka chang jan dangro de bangwan ka jan pai bangwan to kontena Lagu jan ramke mela vice president ka jan member ki te ka bon chal ka South Sudan Opposition Alliance man chala swa wa kam jo position mo ka jan 2018 peace deal da ne shalat Joayu kama ka fire a kirmi yadit jana wale da la kwera agriculture minister no one when ma chai chu kwanya langu la kwera chala do jan bo wore wichin binami kay gwadul man walat ka be South Sudan political transition and economic recovery effort ba jo latne ti ta dana chu na ka je men gor ka humanitarian aids ka je kum South Sudan ba jo lat bon binami amishit kana me cha jala no South Sudan wo de kan jende kan wo ka UN awa mi jiaga long ko de kan chikan gor no te mal medeben termanyanga du te jom chalat gwasame termanyanga ram la rach ka human right advocates no la raj mete mi chanen den bajalar chang man chaja lenka kum kirmi yadit jaji UN chaga jogo no dera gwano de yenetin kontila South Sudan official delegation de ka block chaga de jago woken commission mission mi mommi mittel mi let kene la gwano wej mi dong to malte tenden ba ne ba ku shol but wej mi kan mala kana konu gen koretino ne ga gwaze dan ci ko to 2013 chu man tam tel mi shal mal ano a jenen nang ne entity ti shal gati government officials to we South Sudan can represent outside the country so one editini chicken len manana wonyam ko tel mi chicken long tel mal mi chicken no re which kan wode chalga ke ji wan ku ko la nangu gor jeno ne de ka lele de ka block chicken de wo ko tel peace implementation chicken la tel mal mi shala de kan ne me ways of resources ways of international resources la yar kan yo ko bi international community bi kan yo kan alaka ate ke leader to gor kare gu dan te ten te bo rai ke kwina ta dan de wite ge ka ngai kana ne de man rai wi ke South Sudan ci terma nyang la no teram ma ci yo ci ge te na karundial more than 3 years tel civil servant ci kan yo ken ci kan ge ka leader lad kan wo karar jel kan rar ko ko yo ko kan gala west ka ngai kana no ci ka South Sudan ci kan fail terma nyang ki jomo ci da mo ci jalat chala do wonena I condemn the continued detention of political figure first by President Riek Machar ajane che logo longo ngume den Dr. Machar der ngot committee yenamo ka Dr. Machar de jaluñ ci jomo ci jalat chene de konti la jiyu an ci jogo no anwo biane de konti la government official ke ne de kon la lat ci committee la gua e were wi ke gwadu la ke UN janna mo shimo kwa na many wo chicken to kan bola dun binami na me ways of international resources ci manyang ci jom ci mo ci jalat ke UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres ci jogo no dara gwano de yen mo gwade yen realeka ko dong sia de gorjeno de yen cholo ke kanete ko na yar ke South Sudan bi ko lo rajin binami ka tel mi ci kan luang rewi gwasame ci jomo ci de kwen no mi shit kan me ci chong ano de ka kapchunga te diality ngai kone kuma South Sudan me rai ke kirma yadit tel mu gam le da ka do brande mal da ben ka ja so ngai kon dial mishit kana me en go karik tilat ke kuma kir so dara gwano de kan to dial kon gur ka de kan kariala ka bat ke ko lokane ka chicken diar bo tin kon lat ke rodien ajen munong ri kone jordan balat gwasa me inshallah netin kon tin la jikara bakare which kajuba mental ke JEDCO JEDCO te ko mi kan ladno shito ka ne ken kan te ne ken dangro to ton kan ne shaga ka bakara ba an karab no mone shane de ti shaka na ka jawran ti kan lat warga me gor kan ka shankaro na ka pai bangwan ron kin dangro de jan dangro de diech kan ci rega me chatok kan jegne condolence kan it kontela family members kan dangro to kon chiliu ka ta dan ci kan lat ke ja kan dangro to kon ala do cha electrocuted wa ken ke technician no wa cha na hospital waram kel take bot dioje minor injuries no so chicken jo mo chikalat gwasame but dio jaram kel ke jaram dan dong chirik che jeg dio je ka joran jikanalat so mungu ye gwasame wa karabe che je ga lonko karabe mu cha longa control der kulo gwade so jo me mi chikan link chirmnen yana mu gwasamane ano top kan jawrin ga kwinen kenten content dong chiliu ka chikan boti kan ga jekre wucin winami ka juba rai wika South Sudan na madar gwano de yana ngach murai kon ko den werde ko nyam ano re cordiality let not forget that Nuer gor ken unity kor tuɔɔk ti rai wika panal no ko kolar no panal mentin kon tuɔɔka ka tunja no te kon kan Nuer te kwikir me yadit te kan ne kon targa kor tama amene tunja la kon rajanu ne kon targa kor winami e kai tat batin Nuer te gaten te wun mishal ka general kong to ran SSPDF deputy chief of defense forces no wuda money te ka jom chalat gwasame mugorno banyo ya kel ka tada na chelat keje ko kanetin konen dong cha gorno dong de Nuer nyam kanit kon shunge kir mi yadit no ngai kon no titi Nuer kan kwa user nun kon wala kon aguje no kon dong tele kon mi millet kon ki like it la kon jang la kon ka belo jang kaniten kon tin dong naka kon but ne kon kan Nuer ne de naka kon kan Nuer shiga jang kwale la kwa gane ke de question wona ne ngu jakkono ko ba Nuer kon ba ko jo me chalat ke Tuesday la netin kontin shal ke SSPDF report me mchagaran gormalara yemene warga michigana gor ka shankaro ka pai bangwan would nanya mashala general kong to take jo mchalat gwasme gore report dana be ka kanire kondi la jikume ke nekir me yadi tanwar shara dona na jana shikan strategic town dung tonja mentre wika pana state shikana kep ko kuma SPLIO forces eka kornin ten paiwa chicken jomo chicken lat South Sudan People Defense Forces say it took control of the town from the Sudan People Liberation Army in opposition SPLIO which had held the area for several months. Tonja chakam wala jukum SPLIO jeteneka pat na gwade dan yigana kep kaje Tonja headquarter of Fanyakang County jen gwadmi mo chikorje toktan long ka gwadmi cho latin wate ka kwikel katekan tichwalga ted men jang bote ka kuje den so michit kana me michora lat ka joda na chalat kaje ka kore dana chito ka kan two rival faction chete ka nete mo shunkel ka kirmi yadit wena ka nete kon la jor me chan lengwa sedan en kore chito ka tunja cha captain men Russia ne duno tele Nuer mi chala do cha kabre wuchin widemi duno Nuer men ta me ramadan che felke men chalat to kor ka Nuer ka jo chalat gwasme she chela do na gwasme en general kong tawme the SSPDF Deputy Chief of Defense Forces for Operation visited Tonga on Tuesday jani che waka Tonga ka che wore wichin winami chana jo chana million gwada malade
Oton yerja fi maro ma fi dol basal lakin lo jid basala ila da dina sala moton yerja lakin yerja madun sala tajrid bitadan sala ma bade naw لما نبدا بعدين بنقول لاي موطن كلي يجيب سلاح بتاعه لكن هسه بنقول ان انت لو جاي كلي سلاح بتاعك في محل بتاعك
جاني go ne te kontla citizen no dega loire which dega bere which tele ka mete jalga ka jane kan mai kan ne kaf General Kong Toa, the SSPDF Deputy Chief of Defense Forces for Operation, visited Tonja on Tuesday to inspect the area and urge residents who had fled the fighting to return. We want the citizens to come back, but without gun, he said. We have not started collecting weapons yet, but if you're returning, please leave your gun somewhere. Jo mo chela jogane diala no na lunjo kagone no bia me kun bia ka banpin ude Major General Michael Majo commander dung SSPDF division 2 je kan la no chike tuja je kan kap ko chol kan ne dial konen char bare wuje na lunjo ka Fanyakang County resident Fanyakang County de lunjo ko ntame cha pizza charge restore region te kamal telelerek so ngai kone government propaganda ka jom jikalat gwasa me kan chine area me chine control ko kuma SPLIO antama de yerun kurit de lunjok Fanyakang field commander Major General Paromi Agwe jelado nene kan de ni she can reopen critical route for river and land transport they can she can yer kan nyomlep kana antama mijene ka el liri ka Sudan South Kodafan wona ka capital Juba kan she kan yer kan lebanta me de na de ku jal freely no she can jomo kan lad from today onward the road will open they said we are here to secure the area and ensure access to transportation Some gen malat ke kir de ni kir lat kan o she can drop she can leb kan kan no to courten so you mean that she can take a control jan joden million gwas me nyok
بلد يا ورا روكلاس والمواطن يرجع مال بتاعه الشكر الكبير برجع للرئيس لأن الرئيس يا وين يير الكبير كان يرلو المنطقة ده هي تادو لو أن ياو وقع ماجيج وياو جين مش يعمل أمور شنو تاريخ سو الشكر الكبير برجع للرئيس لكن من رسالة للشعب من يوم الليلة شهر بكون فات الفضل البسيط ده نار بنتم يومين ده بنتم شهر الليري وشهر الماشي جوبا نار بنبتاو الجيل كان يبتاع شوارع والجيل كان عملوا ما إلى موطن
ka George kan lat gwasme kan the SPLA you could not immediately be reached for comment lat kan magor kan ode ne dialde ka lunjo kan go icha do bi cha jare aleka chol kan taada no de ka lo jokre which ne dial kon sharen bar amen were bo miten wana mo tere pende lunjo ko jodan ka lat gwasme ne kan you nyo gwar no ne the SPLA you could not immediately be reached for comment. However, in a statement released on Tuesday evening, SPLA spokesman Colonel Lampol Gabriel said its 7th Infantry Division had successfully repelled a joint offensive by the SSPDF and Agweleng militia in Tonga on Saturday. The regime forces were defeated and pushed back with able losses, Gabriel claimed. Chicken Jom Chicken Mexican Kume Spela, Chicken Kume, SSPDF Chicken George. Kan chicken ga George ka jodan shala da Colonel Paul Gabriel ka GSSP diabito ye kan chicken Tony chicken fight ka cha nyoko laden kuma SPLA uno na mechi talk. The two sides are signatory to the 2018 replies peace agreement on the resolution of the conflict in South Sudan, which aimed to end a 5-year civil war that killed an estimated 400,000 people. However, key provision of the real, including the unification of forces, drafting of a permanent constitution, and holding of national election remain largely unimplemented. President Salva Kiir, Vice President and SPLA leader Riek Machar, who is currently in detention, and other political leaders signed the fragile agreement. The United Nations has warned that the country risks sliding back into widespread conflict. The United States and other Western embassies have repeatedly urged Kiir administration to de-escalate tension. Kuma kirma yadit majika la kana shiga tonja chikana kep ka cha nyoga lat bo Paul Gabriel no na me shi talk no would pay in turnen go actually kwang to. So these are the people didn't qualify use kirma yadit cha nyoga lat bo ne netin konti la SPLA lat kana no man cha la de SSP de chi talk tonja ngure te under control of SPLA ayo ka jodan chikana lat. So titi kana gon kontin gor no de nywa yekel mitike midong de lar gor pingwasamo kamishejan den nywa kanete koken tuya pro jeno bi video ne koken gwato bika gwich kamijiram jidid ba ku subscribe ko bi ten kona lat kroden biken chamala shukje amji subscribe and then be notification bell bujatwan anytime to take a new video mishar ladrach bi chamala shukje shu ja pro jeno bi video bi ben ka kona maka bi gwich an bi atagamal bye bye.